Good morning, good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning from Atlanta. Happy holidays to everyone. And happy birthday to my little sister. I thank God for today. It's her birthday. Good morning, good morning. Happy holidays from Atlanta. Out here enjoying nature. Nature's therapy. You know, the incense deter mosquitoes. Try lighting one outside. I'm Factz from Atlanta. For those who just coming in, happy holidays. I really celebrate Juneteenth now. However, today is my little sister's birthday. So all holidays, I see it's opportunity to spend time with family, doing something positive together. Happy holidays, everyone from Atlanta, Georgia, from me, Factz. Be safe out there. It's getting more and more dangerous every day. Watch your children. Thank you for coming across my content. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the vote.
To BKTV, this is The View from Here, and I am.
Okay, I don't want to hear that. I was trying to locate something else. This content that I'm about to play, I do not own rights to this content. This is for entertainment and educational purposes. Okay, I'm gonna start it over.
What do you make of that situation?
A music executive died yesterday with a value of $850 million at the ripe age of 94, closing and comfy in his bed. And every dollar of that $850 million was made off the backs of artists who did not make it to live past 50.
That 1995 meeting in Beverly Hills in the home of was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston. I said it. His days are numbered. And there were rappers there from all over the country. They were invited to the home, along with members of the CIA, FBI, which they didn't understand why the government was in, including many directors and CEOs of the private prisons throughout the United States.
Now, I've made it no secret that I just thought it was in poor taste for you to continue with the pre-Grammy party when Whitney's body was still upstairs in the hotel room. Remember, Whitney passed away the same day as annual party. Why did you go on and have the party? Just asking.
Well, you're a very small minority.
Uh-huh.
Because if you knew Whitney better, you knew she was not there to perform.
Yeah.
This was her favorite night of the year.
Oh.
She came out every year.
Oh.
This party was so part of her.
So you're saying that
so that the family, we spoke to representatives of Pat, who was a manager, and Gary, who was her brother.
her body was still upstairs.
So after years of Usher staying quiet about his involvement in Diddy essaying him multiple times, he is finally spilling all the tea. And according to him, the reason he stayed silent for this long was that he was afraid of coming after him. This is honestly surprising coming from Usher, considering he was just in an interview not too long ago, still defending.
I do not own the rights to this content. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Diddy, despite all the allegations against him. But word on the street is that the reason he was siding with Diddy was
It feels so good out here this morning. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. Thank you for my supporter.
that Diddy was still being protected by his sugar zaddy office, which meant going to come for him if he spoke against Diddy. And given the fact that Usher is literally one of the biggest artists Diddy mentored,
My other device is buffering. Seems like now whenever I'm trying to get some important information, it does that. But I'm just going to listen to the nature why it's buffering. This about 3 people right now. If you haven't heard, it's going to say it in a minute, the 3 people they're talking about. It's something I already knew of, though.
Diddy. What do you make of that situation?
A music executive died yesterday with a value of $850 $850 million at the ripe age of 94, cozy and comfy in his bed. And every dollar of that $850 million was made off the backs of artists who did not make it to live past 50.
That 1995 meeting in Beverly Hills in the home of was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston. I said it. His days are numbered. And there were rappers there from all over the country. They were invited to the home, along with members of the CIA, FBI, which they didn't understand why the government was there, including many directors and CEOs of the private prisons throughout the United States. Whereas at
Now, I've made it no secret that I just thought it was in poor taste for you to continue with the pre-Grammy party when Whitney's body was still upstairs in the hotel room.
How
Remember,
old are
Whitney
you?
passed away the same day as
The
annual
person who's saying,
party.
can I take you to
Um,
McDonald's?
Why did you go on and have the party? Just answer.
Everyone is here.
You're
Good
very
morning. Happy
small
holidays.
Uh-huh.
Can you answer the question? Do you feel free?
She was not there to perform.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July. Although I do not, I celebrate my sister today, her birthday. However, I do celebrate Juneteenth.
So that the family,
And I don't feel free.
Pat, who was a manager, and Gary, who was her brother.
Her body was still upstairs.
So after years of Usher staying quiet about his involvement in Diddy essaying him multiple times, he is finally spilling all the tea. And according to him, the reason he stayed silent for this long was that he was afraid of coming after him. This is honestly surprising coming from Usher, considering he was just in an interview not too long ago, still defending Diddy despite all the allegations against him. But word on the street is that the reason he was siding with Diddy was that Diddy was still being protected by his sugar zaddy office, which meant going to come for him if he spoke against Diddy. And given the fact that Usher is literally one of the biggest artists Diddy mentored,
Good morning.
whatever he says about him will carry a lot of weight.
I hope and pray that you are healed. Let me say this. People, places, and things. I am a survivor of many things, and I have suffered with alcoholism. Yesterday, I fasted. I drank juice, water, and coffee. Now, the thing is, God released me, and I went back to drinking. And when I say that, I mean drinking. I went from drinking every weekend to drinking every day. And I say people, places, and things because we're the product of our environment, right? And when I go around certain environments, I drink. And it's not like a child like I gotta fit in. However, I do feel like out of place. So on yesterday, I did stay home because they usually like play games, play spades, and drink and have a cigar, if you know what I mean. So I'm definitely working on that. What I did was I started with 30 days fast. I started doing puzzles, and it's off and on thing for me. I'm a social drinker and a problem drinker, right? So when I had my kids and everything, when they was young, I did great. Like I did a really good job. And another thing is that the hot kind of alcohol. We know alcohol and drugs are spirits. So I want to say this too. Be mindful, be alert. The adversary, your adversary, my adversary, the devil, prowls around like a lion seeking who he may be devour. Our adversary, the devil, prowls around like a lion seeking he may whom he may devour. And it's usually people that are struggling with something, whether it's addiction, spending money, gambling. I would personally say this: you must really want to stop. And I'm going to say this prayer right quick, and it's brief. Before I say that, I want to say this because someone told me I was incorrect. Usually, when you're an alcoholic, and that's why I say yes, I'm an alcoholic, because even if you stop for a short period of time or a long period of time, it's something that you can fight daily, that you may fight daily. So I'm gonna say this: I did take some class, I took some meetings. I really was sent there for another reason. However, I needed it, and I didn't know I needed it. Sometimes we get upset, but things can be for a reason and for our good. So I went to see about a job, and they was doing tests. I failed the test, so I ended up taking a class instead of finding a career. However, I met so many people. I met people who would not stop doing extracurricular activities, even though they was warrant. They had to go to court. It was court mandated, and they had to have a test every week. And by day, I mean I didn't, because when I came in there, I was clean. When I left, I was clean. See, a lot of things, in my opinion, require strength and willpower, and sometimes it's not easy. But you gotta love you so much that you really love you. Because if you, and I'm trying to reteach my family that, because sometimes it can be a generational curse. If you feel like, oh, I got a bottle or whatever, that's cute. Oh, I got a cigar, that's cute. Society have made that normal, right? Not saying there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the issue that they have, or the stronghold. Some people's stronghold can be a person of the opposite sex. Like I said, it could be shopping. It's a stronghold, and most things are a generational curse. So, like I said, I'm a social and a problem drinker, and I was led to a program, and I had to stand up, and you have to stand up, and my name is such and such, and my um, thing of choice, and I have to be careful what I say on here, is say wine. Okay, I have to have wine every day. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get up and you have to say that. And at first I was embarrassed, but I realized this was your strength at. So the prayer I want to say is just this simple prayer before I say anything else. This is the prayer of serenity. God, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, insanity is when we continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We cannot do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So if I really want to leave things alone that are not good for me, one thing I have to do is first surrender to a higher power. Whatever your higher power may be, mine is Jesus Christ, whom strengthens me, right? So the strength he gives is outside of our own strength. So your mind might tell you, oh, I gotta have a cigar to get through the day. Oh, I got this world so depressing, I gotta have a drink. I can't handle this without this. But you're continuing to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And sometimes we think, I didn't hurt anyone, but however, your children are looking at you with beverages all the time. Your family's looking at you with beverages all the time. One thing that used to convict me was I would go over someone's home and we basically call it like a clubhouse, right? So people come over there, they watch videos, they dance, we do karaoke, play spade or whatever other kind of game. What got me was they when they had children, the children are older than they're like it been years. And so they run around there, and the first thing came to my mind, I went back to doing early childhood development, child care. And I did not want to be around the little girl, and she know, okay, this is the lady who drink, this is the lady who, And then my relationship with God was deteriorating because who want to talk to God and they're liberated, you know? And that's another thing I learned, do all things in moderation, whether it be eat a steak, um, exercise. We have to do all things in moderation. Don't thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. And thank you for anyone who will answer that question. Do you feel free? You can put it in the comments if you want to. So I'm just talking about what worked for me and what's working for me. And I'm going back on that. And never, when you stop doing something, like say as you say, I'm exercise 30 days. My goal is to get in better shape by my birthday, which is in September. I'll be 50 this year. There's days that I end up like on this platform, or I end up cooking, or going to see somebody, and then that get in the way of me doing my consistency with exercise, right? So no matter if you step out for a week, a month, and it shouldn't be that, don't never let it get that long, but just step back in as if you never left. It's like a relationship, like with your sister, whatnot. You all have a falling out, but when you come back together, you forgive each other, and it's like almost like it never happened. I'm not gonna say it's not like it didn't happen, but almost like it never happened, because you jump right back into what you used to do. You know what I'm saying? You go back to having good conversations with your sister. You go back with checking in on her every day. So it's the same thing. Most things are patterns and repetition. So like I'm on here now, I vowed to myself that if I be faceless until I build more of an audience and see what kind of content people like, that I'll start being more consistent. That I would come on here at least 3 times out of a week. Sometimes more, sometimes 2 times a day. Just depends on how busy I get. But I made it in my mind that no matter how many people come over here, I'm going to do my content more often. Just like I did when I was on TikTok. I was on there every day. But I had like close to 2,000 people. So that was part of my motivation. However, like the Bible say, where 1 or 2 are in the mix, there I am also. So if it be one, if it be one, I'm still going to show up for myself. Good morning. Happy holidays. Happy 4th of July. Right now, I'm doing nature, and nature is therapy. That's another thing I focus on. And I would say this, I'm speaking on a comment that was made. I don't know if they're still here. Matter of fact, you still here at GT EW3BK. Please put a 1 in the chat. But yes, I don't care how many times you have to repeat it. Say, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the will to know the difference. Now, some of us need a therapist. Some of us need a meeting. I have had a meeting. I have had therapy. It's been some years, and sometimes we have to brush up on what we do and what we know. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Atlanta, Georgia. Who is my audience? Do I have young people? Do I have older people? I'll be 50, and I don't look 50, but I feel 50, if you can believe that. Like right now, I'm trying to stretch. My carpal tunnel is so bad in my left shoulder that I can't even hold the arm all the way up. And it's discouraging, but I have to push through it sometimes. I always remember, if you're giving people discounts on how to treat you and love you, don't get upset when they show up that kind of way. You must command your day. You must demand your respect. And by doing that, you falling back from that person. Anyone feel free? So I'm gonna walk over here and check on my plants real quick. I really been letting my son manage how much water to put in. I think he be putting too much though, and sometimes I don't put enough. So yes, I'm checking on my garden. I'll be right back in a sec. Sometimes I forget I need to Google how often I need to be watering my rose bush, because if you overwater them instead of doing good, they'll do the total opposite. How often should I water my rose bush? One thing about it, in 2026, good morning, happy holidays. In 2026, we can search just about anything. Okay. Okay, it's different kind of roses, which I know it was different colors, but okay, I don't know if my rose bush is this certain kind, however it says. Oh, that was the bird. You have to be looking out here. My son saw a fox one time. Water established roses thoroughly 1 to 2 times a week. Okay, see, because you can, if you overwater these roses, they will start having holes like, well, where the weed part of it is. I can't think of a better word for it, but the vines, they will get saturated too much and it'll become overwhelming. So that's why I looked that up. Okay, I was working on mental health awareness on here, and I had been focusing on passive, aggressive, and assertive. Good morning, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy 4th of July. I celebrate Juneteenth. However, today is a celebration because it's my little sister's birthday. So, for those who do celebrate, happy 4th of July to you. Be safe. Don't forget to pray. And per my mental health awareness, check on your strong people because some people do not know that strong people hurt too. And strong people, when I say strong, I mean the person that people call when they need somebody, but nobody is calling them. So check on your people like that. I'm grateful that I can talk to God and get whatever therapy I need because I don't have money for a therapist right now. So this nature is my therapy. I like to walk. I like to do karaoke. I like to listen to music. I used to dance. I don't dance as much now because of my lifestyle and how I show up for God. Um, I'm not gonna say it's very provocative. However, I do this little dance, and everything's not for everybody. I'm saying it like that, especially if you're in a relationship. You don't want to be dancing at a party and other guys are, looking at you and noticing you when your significant other is there because it doesn't look good. And if your significant other was doing the same thing, which you like it, that's what you have to ask yourself. So I'm on a growth journey, and part of my growth journey, I'm finding myself being aware of different things that I've done that was not really in a good light. We have to be accountable, take accountability. Some people don't like to take accountability. I'm a person that I can forgive people. I don't like to hold grudges. However, I do have a real problem with people do not hold themselves accountable. If you do not hold yourself accountable and you can't apologize to me, then for me, it would be hard for me to mend that relationship. So right now, I'm really working on seeing people's side of things. However, I'm the type of person I would not tone wrestle with you. I will fall back. And when I say fall back, I'll still love you. I'll just love you from a distance. And I think I'm going to redo this question right here because I do want to know who feels free and who does not. So I'm going to do it on a poll. And no, I do not feel free. I absolutely do not. And for me, it's and today I'm just talking about different topics, whatnot, whatever touches my heart, I'm gonna say it like that. So one reason I do not feel free is I realize that freedom comes at a cost, and we have people over there in battle right now, and they're not even telling us the severity of it. Um, 47, I'm gonna call him 47 because I don't like to call him president or my president. But 47 is saying that the people will hurt. They I'm saying whatever happened to them is minor. And from what I just heard, it's not minor. Some of those people really got hurt, and they want them to go back over there to the battle. So for that reason, I feel like we're gaslighted, like they're making us feel like it's not much going on, but it is. And many people not talking about it. And one reason I feel like they're not talking about it because so many other things going on in the world. People are still disappearing. People still being found by trees. That's another reason I don't feel like we're free. Because if you go to a certain part, which I've heard they call the sundown towns, then you won't be free. You may be free to be assaulted, or they may find you. You know, God forbid, but from what I've seen, that's what's going on. People are disappearing.
Whatever he says about him will carry a lot of weight. Apparently, everything Diddy did to Usher was done to him by Clive Davis as an initiation ritual. And to make matters even worse, Usher allegedly also dragged Justin Bieber into it as his way of keeping the victim-making machine running. No wonder Justin wasn't having it when Usher tried to talk to him and
I do not own the rights to this content. This is educational and entertainment purposes only. I do not own the rights to this content.
Jay-Z and Beyonce's Oscars after party. Now, for those of y'all wondering how all this foolishness even started, well, it goes all the way back to when Diddy became the legal guardian of Usher, who was just 13 years old at the time, after being introduced to Diddy by L.A. Reid. No shade. L.A. Reid doesn't get dragged enough for this decision, because why did he think it was a good idea to send a then teenage Usher to New York to work with Diddy, who was in his mid-20s? Even after hearing about the adult activities Diddy was getting up to in his house. In what world was that ever going to go well? Usher has revealed in multiple interviews that during his time under Diddy's wing, he was exposed to a lot at a young age. In 2004, during the era of his Confessions album, Usher said in a Rolling Stone interview that Diddy introduced him to a totally different set of stuff, including freak-offs.
Gary, who was his her brother.
Her body was still upstairs.
So after years of Usher staying
Good
quiet about
morning.
his
Happy
involvement
4th
in
of
Diddy
July.
essaying him multiple times, he is finally spilling all the tea. And according to him, the reason he stayed silent for this long was that he was afraid of coming after him. This is honestly surprising coming from Usher, considering he was just in an interview not too long ago, still defending Diddy despite all the allegations against him. But word on the street is that the reason he was siding with Diddy was that Diddy was still being protected by his sugar zaddy office, which meant going to come for him if he spoke against Diddy. And given the fact that Usher is literally one of the biggest artists Diddy mentored, whatever he says about him will carry a lot of weight. Apparently, everything Diddy did to Usher was done to him by Davis as an initiation ritual. And to make matters even worse, Usher allegedly also dragged Justin Bieber into it as his way of keeping the victim-making machine running. No wonder Justin wasn't having it when Usher tried to talk to him at Jay-Z and Beyonce's Oscars after party. Now, for those of y'all wondering how all this foolishness even started, well, it goes all the way back to when Diddy became the legal guardian of Usher, who was just 13 years old at the time. After being introduced to Diddy
Thank you
by
for the
L.A.
likes.
Reid,
Thank you
no
for the
shade,
votes.
L.A. Reid doesn't get dragged enough for this decision. Because why did he think it was a good idea to send a then teenage Usher to New York to work with Diddy, who was in his mid-20s? Even after hearing about the adult activity.
I used to really like Usher, like I like Michael Jackson. I will always like Michael Jackson because I really do not believe all the allegations are true what they said about him, and I do not believe he got a chance to really be a child. And I also believe that something about his parents allegedly is dirty.
Activities Diddy was getting up to in his house. In what world was that ever going to go well? Usher has revealed in multiple interviews that during his time under Diddy's wing, he was exposed to a lot at a young age. In 2004, during the era of his Confessions album, Usher said in a Rolling Stone interview that Diddy introduced him to a totally different set of stuff, including freak-offs. He said, "X is so hot in the industry, man. There was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having. You never knew what was going to happen." During his 35th birthday celebration in 2013, Usher described Diddy's parties saying, "I was introduced to everything by Puff Daddy when I was only 15. Parties, women, X, and drugs. I've had a taste of it, but I'd never let it take me over." Usher blatantly admitted to participating in the mess when he was 15, and even then, he's still trying to convince us that he didn't let it take over him. Ooh, please.
Serious, I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
saying?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
and I saw it, and it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
14.
If this is true, I really wish that he would speak out, because even if you were a victim or survivor, I think it's really, really wrong to make someone else a victim or survivor. And if it didn't make you feel good, like, why would you do it to someone else? And I'm sorry, but we have to hold ourselves accountable, even as a child. And I'm assuming that he had a parent that was intelligent enough to tell him right from wrong, right? He had to know it was not right. However, I really don't, I don't want to speak bad on nobody. So all this is a legend, right? But I had to think about it when I spoke and I said that. Because if the parent knew what was right, then he wouldn't never even been over there at them people's house. Like the first time I heard them say something about fighting over cereal, it went over a lot of people's head, and I really didn't think deep into it. However, I was like, what was he doing fighting over cereal with him? He a child. Like, what is going on here? But no one ever paid any attention. It just went over everyone's head. Like a lot of things.
Years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to puppy camp?
Hell no.
Now, just like how Usher wouldn't want to send his kids to Diddy, his mama, Janetta Patton, wasn't having it either when she found out what Diddy was doing with her son. In fact, according to Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, Diddy wasn't just making Usher participate in the freak-offs. He allegedly essayed Usher a bunch of times. One of those essay incidents allegedly got so bad that Usher was sent to the hospital to get his manhole patched up because Diddy forced entry and tore it apart.
Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the...
After this,
Where are these parents in all of this? Like, it's to me, it's speaking so about, like, you sold or you bought, let them buy, purchase, allegedly, your children. Because no way you did not know all of this was going on. Like, if I meet with somebody and, you know, body language and all that type of thing, you should know something ain't right. Like, when it comes to mine, like, I normally pick up on something ain't right. And even if I don't pick up on it, I ask them, you good? What's going on in your life? Everything good? That's what parents should do. This your child we talking about. I don't know.
Janetta took Usher away from Diddy and handed him to Jermaine Dupri, who later became his mentor and helped make his sophomore album, My Way. But here where things get messy. So according to recent reports, the reason Diddy allegedly did all these things to Usher was that his industry godfather and alleged sugar daddy, Davis, also did it to him as an initiation ritual. Diddy and first linked up in 1994 when they entered into a 50-50 joint venture that led to the creation of Bad Boy Records, which became home to Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, Mace, and others. But apparently, this business venture didn't just happen out of nowhere. According to Suge Knight, Diddy's manhood was taken from him by through a ritual called the egg test. And from there, Diddy went on to do the same thing to Usher to keep the tradition going. He even said that after was done having his fun with Diddy, he passed him over to Russell Simmons and Andre Harrell to also run through him. And this is where the egg test comes in. So apparently, the way they checked to confirm if Diddy was used up enough was to insert an egg up his manhole. If it slid in without breaking the rules, he had qualified to be in the club. If it didn't, they would keep playing with him till he passed the egg test. And word on the street is, once Diddy got powerful enough, he also did it to his victims, allegedly including Usher. Those guys, they introduced Cocaina to artists. So once they got on Cocaina, once they got on substances, once they got on alcohol, then that's when the weird stuff happened. I think that's what took Puffy down that lane. Combs was taught that. He got Usher, alcohol, substances, and X, Justin Bieber. And see, they do these things to take control. You choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they're doing this to people for control. Everybody said what was done to Usher, and they have done it to Justin Bieber. And the deal with Usher spent the night with him and Puffy being in the same bed. Suge also alleged that when he first met Usher, Diddy's associates warned him to avoid getting too close to Usher, claiming that Diddy allegedly had a thing for Usher. He added, "Those guys pull their pants down and bent over. They stick the egg up their hole. Their eggs break. They say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood." Without attending those parties, it's hard to comprehend what happened. Hurt people hurt people. Someone was essayed, they wind up being a perpetrator. I think it was done to him. And to make matters even worse, an unnamed source from Clive's camp also claimed that was losing sleep, haunted by the memories of what he and Diddy got up to together, and was terrified that the truth might come out following Diddy's arrest. And Suge didn't lie about Usher allegedly dragging Justin into Clive and Davis's world. That he did this, knowing what Diddy would do, is nasty work. But now people believe he did it because Clive and Diddy forced him to.
The recent news is that 47 is going to pardon Diddy.
And Usher signed him to his label, RBMG
47.
Records. It was through Usher that Justin was for
47. You know who 47 is? It's going to pardon Diddy. That's the rumor. So this came across my feed. It says Usher finally exposes what Clive Davis did. Okay, so that's why I'm listening to this. I do not own the rights to this content. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Introduced to Diddy. And from there, Justin went from being an innocent teenager to now drowning in substances and constant freak-offs that destroyed him.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time. I'm like, yeah, be yours. So, at 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
My number.
Yeah.
Now, it's unclear why exactly Justin stopped hanging with Diddy, but people believe that Diddy may have SA'd him and then passed him over to other people in the industry. And some of those people allegedly include The Game and Odell Beckham. These rumors started after a video went viral of Justin seemingly going down on Odell Beckham at a party. And then there was this other video of Diddy and The Game giving Justin multiple drinks at a party, even though he looked visibly faded. Someone posted the video and said,
This is so sad. All this is allegedly. However, this is just so sad. Victim after victim. What does it profit a man to win the whole world and lose his soul? A lot of us got to ask ourselves that. I must stay safe. I don't know how they do it.
a video of P. Diddy and The Game giving Justin Bieber drinks is going viral. People believe Justin was used multiple times at this party. If anyone knows the evil deeds of Clive and Diddy, it is Usher. And the fact that he's only spilling all the tea now that Clive's dead says a lot. But then again, a lot of people are actually hoping that Clive's death will open the doors for a lot more to speak out about what they went through in his hands. Pretty much started this victim-making machine with Diddy, who then...
This allegedly was a very evil man. And I must say, looks are not everything. Good morning. But this man looked like, if you ever looked at that movie with Batman in it, he looked like a penguin to me. I mean, I probably would have been spitting up. I probably couldn't keep no food down. Like, I feel really bad for the victims. And although some are victims, they say hurt people. However, like, it wasn't no point when you was able to talk to your parent and let them know what was going on, instead of bringing in someone else and making them a victim with you. Like, this really, it's just really terrible. Like, at this point, I'm feeling like it's more so a lot of evil in this world than it is good, kind-hearted people. Because the people you think are nice, good morning, happy holidays, happy 4th of July. The people who you think are nice and normal, they not. And like, I thank God now that I used to want to be a singer. I used to want to be a dancer. You know, we all have our dreams. One of them I did do. I became a child care worker. I had my own classroom and everything. However, when it comes to these other things, I'm so glad I didn't end up in the industry, because it's just really sad. All this is allegedly, and I do not own the rights to this content. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Please, if you're a believer, pray for our world. Pray for our sons. Pray for our daughters. I came across some people who they're very talented, have beautiful, magnificent voices, and they told me the reason why they did not go where they could have went is because they was not willing to sell their soul. And I thank God for that.
And allegedly did it to Usher. One person reacted to this saying, this mistreated the artists that he was supposed to be representing and was responsible for the early, premature deaths of many of them. He profited greatly from their deaths. Davis trained Diddy into becoming the Black Epstein. Davis was an evil, Satan-worshipping man. Don't get it twisted. Good riddance. Another person said, this gay PDF Clive Davis is just like most of the other Hollywood music industry. This is the Epstein class, yet they roam free. This piece of trash was allowed to die peacefully in his home and go straight to hell. Can't wait to see more of these guys go. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of is getting dragged by Usher now that he's dead? And do you really believe he started the trend of everyone, including Usher himself, getting mistreated? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.
You know, I was just sharing some little insight with you all since I saw it on there. I was going on here actually to find my information and or content. Okay, you do? I knew I've heard about this before. However, I have not heard the update. I don't like to be a messy person, but I kept seeing some people saying rest in peace to this man. I'm like, I can't say that. Lord forgive him. I know God is judge, but I can't say I want him to rest in peace. Wherever, I hope he get his portion of karma. I really do. You know, I can't stand it, especially. I thank God I was never molested, but I am a survivor of sexual assault more than once. If you came across my content and you heard my poem, then you know that. And so I look at things really deeper. And I've seen children that have had things, told me they've had things happen to them. And if you're not watching your children, see, that's the other thing too. Because of other parents not being what they should be, and some parents just having to go get a job, and being a single parent, they can't watch their children and work right. So whatever happens to them, they portray it on somebody else. I definitely have seen children do that, you know, and not really paying no mind to what they're doing. Like, you know, they're children, so they pick up stuff. So I did find out that there was children getting assaulted. Their parents did not know it because they were so busy working. And then they would go around other children, and they would basically, even if they're a child, it's still called SA. They would SA them. So it's the same thing, you know. That's why you got to be careful who you put your children around. Healing to all those people, and I just hope it all come out. No one should be carrying that around them every day, and this is probably why, like I was saying earlier to that young guy that was on here, I used to be a social and problem drinker. Now that I've seen things clear, I might have a drink or whatever, but like indulging in like bottles, you know, just popping bottles all the time and thinking that's cute and all that. I'll be 50 this year. But it have been a struggle with me off and on, but respecting myself and growth I've always had. You know, right there to the right. You know, when I say to the right, you know, we have one side telling us this and one side telling us that. I call it good and evil. And regardless of what the people are saying, my take on this world right now is there's nothing new under the sun. It's in the Bible. All this stuff going on is nothing new under the sun, and it's bigger than black and white like they said. However, some things are black and white, and we know this. But when I say it's bigger than that, it's about good and evil. And that's not new. It's always been about good and evil. They just, pulling the wolves over our eyes. And if we stay where they want us to stay, worrying about a party, a celebration, a sport event, and then I even found out with some of these sports and everything, it's people in that arena, it's people in all kind of sectors allegedly are part of the trafficking, the SA, you name it. All this is allegedly. But I get this information, I'm gonna say it like that. All this information I come across. And I don't know it because for some reason I'm drawn to it. Because you're usually drawn to who you are. Like you're drawn to people that are fighting depression. You may be drawn to people who like to party if that's what your life and your upbringing and your genetics have made up to. So that's when I say what I say, that's what I mean. That's what I mean about what I said. I'm drawn to people that are leaving here, people that are losing their children, things of that matter, and that's because I lost my first nephew. And I think that's why I'm so much on mental health awareness, because some people suffer in silence. Depression is real. And you can believe in God and be depressed at the same time. I fight depression every day. I'm diagnosed as bipolar, anxiety, and PTSD from the domestic violence relationship I was in. Even though I would hear this big noise, boom, and I get all discombobulated, and sometimes I like have to be ready because I was used to that relationship. I was used to him kicking my door in and ready to battle as soon as he get in the house because he's unhappy with something happening in his life. So yeah, so all that stuff I take to heart. And I don't know the copyright fair use message that I'm gonna have to look into that as another YouTube. I gotta ask one today because I don't want nobody to bring down my channel or report me. So one thing I do know, even if when it comes to music, and some of it you still cannot play, but you do make sure you say it's for educational and entertainment purposes only. Now I played some songs and they've been took down because it was it was not fair use. I know they say something fair use copyright. I don't know. I'm new here. I'm used to TikTok. I'm used to Facebook. I'm used to Instagram. I'm used to Threads. So I'm still learning when it comes to this type of stuff. So when you on my platform, if you come across here, if I don't see you, charge to my head and at my heart, I need glasses, and I'll be 50 this year. And like I said, sometimes we don't look like what we've been through, but our memory is challenging. We don't move the same. We don't respond the same. And sometimes it can be for the good. Sometimes not. Now, if you missed my content yesterday, thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Thanks for the votes. If you came across my content yesterday, I was talking about fret not of evildoers, and God will restore the years that the locust worm have took away. Meaning, if you spent a lot of years on something or somebody, give it to God, because he will give you your time back. And the experience can actually bring you to your destination where you're trying to be sooner than later, because you have been prepared for it. God prepares. Sometimes we don't even know it. Now I'm going to see if I go along with this song, then maybe I won't be flagged. I don't know. But that brings me to this song that I want to play real quick. And again, I like to do karaoke. I'm not a singer or anything like that. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Happy 4th of July. I'm on here just doing my nature thing and talking about life and things. And I just came across this content with Usher, and I'm just speaking it. I need to learn about the fair use. I don't know how that go, but I need to start saying that when I play people content. I know I saw you all saying something about fair use, copyright, something. I don't know anything about that. I just usually say this for educational and entertainment purposes only. I do not own rights to this content, but I just be hoping I don't get took down. So, but the content I came across was Usher and him talking about. Well, they're saying now that Clive is gone, he's able to speak a little bit more freely, and now he's speaking his piece about what really went on. I would love to see him in a I guess an interview, because I want to know, because I know sometimes it's so much going on nowadays, you don't know what's real and what's false. So that's another reason I make sure I say that this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. But I don't see any other creators talking about it. I might, I know this one person, he usually pick up stories, and maybe I need to see have he heard about it to see what information he can get on it. I'm not good at this investigating anything like that yet. Right now, I just pretty much do awareness content and just speak my mind. Sometime I might do a poem. Okay, speaking of, you guys, I know people coming in and going out again. Happy 4th of July. I don't have no plans. So I'm just gonna I already started my collard greens. I may cook my cornbread and put my turkey wings in the oven. However, I celebrate Juneteenth, but as I said, today is my little sis' birthday. I have some poetry that I need to redo. I really haven't been making time for things like I should. But since I'm talking about this Usher situation, I'm going to say this poem that I've said before. Like I said, I'm working on my consistency. So maybe you heard it, maybe you haven't. We'll see. Okay, this poem is You Saw Me. You saw me. You saw me when I was weak. At times I could not sleep. You saw me. You saw me at my low, feeling as if I could not soar. You saw me from the start, even though you had no heart. You saw me. You saw me with no muse, had no idea I was abused. Still confused, I took your hand. Without wisdom, I thought you'd understand. You saw me. Or did you see you? Did you see an opportunity? You know you gave me much foolery. You saw me. Naive, broken, and blind. Psychological issues, how could I dish you this time? You saw me. So did you see you? Or those things you used to do? Loose, obtuse, who? You saw me. Vulnerable, hostile, yet strong. I see you, someone, something, or somebody that I can lean on. Mister had bling on, no ring on. So I turned my game on. Oh, I think I'm in love with Mr. Wrong. Just might get my swerve on. You saw me. Friends with benefits because I can't or won't leave him alone. Danger zone, days, purple haze. God, please, 1 Corinthians 10:13 me. This slate or state I cannot break. You see me now, calling out for help. Please don't let us drown. You saw me. Poem. Oh, you're so welcome. Anytime you feel like you need to be on this platform and we can pray together, karaoke, whatever it takes. I will say it's good to obtain a therapist, a sponsor, and put yourself around like-minded, sober people. Whatever therapy works for you. I like walking, like I said. I like nature, listening to and watching birds, and I'm doing a puzzle. I like puzzles. Like for a year when I decided that I didn't want to do any more drinking or smoking cigars or partying, what have you. And my neighbor stayed right across the street from me and my ex at that time. But I loved myself enough to know that in order to love me right, I had to let them go. And like I said, I went back and forth. I went back to drinking and smoking because of what I was going through. You know, I lost my place and some things like that. And it took for me to read the book of Job to make me realize that no matter what I go through, there's no, it's no excuse to hurt myself, because whatever we're doing, we're hurting ourselves when we're putting foreign things in our body that we shouldn't be putting in our body. We're actually hurting ourselves. So we just have to think about that. And I'm say the prayer again. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I wasn't gonna be on here long today. I hope this conversation was useful for someone. I will say I will say some more poems real quick. I'm start being more consistent. One day I may learn them, you know, again. Thank you for coming by. Shank, salute. I appreciate it. So repetition happens when you continue to be consistent and show up for yourself. So I'm going to say this poem again. The more I say my poems, the more I can learn them. Like, one thing, like I said, I don't look like what I've been through. However, I could look younger, and I know this. Vitamins, minerals, eating right, all that is important. But mentally, I've been through a lot. Just that domestic violence relationship was a lot, because I was in it for many years, and also me just seeing a lot of that, and also someone, you know, just mistreating me and me being a survivor. All of that I think plays a role. But if I'm being honest, and I must be honest, drinking causes memory loss. A cigar causes memory loss. So we have to think about and search all the things that these things do to you, because if you look at them, it will motivate you, because you do not want your body to deteriorate too early. So if you drink a spirit in your cup, then yes, that will cause memory problems. If you smoke, these young people, they especially do not want to receive this, but smoking causes memory loss. You know, so do it all at your own risk, as the Newport box say. Now I will say I used to buy boxes of Newports. I don't do that anymore. That been years since I did that. Now here and there I will smoke a cigar, and that's why I'm not able to sing the way I used to. And I know that, because that's one thing singers know. If they smoke, it do something to their lungs. And that's why they used to do the tea and the lemon all the time. And I do that sometimes. I got Alzheimer's, my honey. But I'm going to say this poem right here, and I might do a little karaoke, and then I'm going to get off so I can finish my dinner for today. And this is a short poem. I usually do short poetry. I'm building up on them. Maybe if I, take our time to sit down, I can expand my poems. But for right now, this one I'm at with short poetry. And this is entitled, I Will Weep for the Little Girl. Who will weep for the little girl? A good girl she inspired to be. Who will fight for the little? I'm sorry, distracted by the birds. Let me start over. This is entitled, Who Will Weep for the Little Girl? Who will weep for the little girl? A good girl she inspired to be. Who will fight for the little girl? Took advantage of ×3. The girl crying to come out of me. Young lady whom I see in my dreams. Who is this schoolgirl who loved to learn, read, dance, cook, teach, and clean? Daughter, sister, student, beauty, and brain and frame almost cost her her name. She was intelligent, upstanding, chaste, and discreet. So different, diverse, or unique was she. There are ladies who never got to truly be a girl. For you, I weep. You can still wear your crown, my queen. The fight for her is daily. Girl in the mirror with negative thoughts and silent screams. I see you now. Forgive yourself. Exoneration. No hesitation. Believe in yourself like a rhythm nation. I will weep for the little girl. Poem. Thank you for listening. That poem is I Will Weep for the Little Girl, and I'm still working on expanding that one. That's a short one. So I have this other one called Where I Reside, and I did do a part one, and I took out the time to do a part two. So I'm going to grab that one and say that one in a few seconds. I'm trying to do, like I said, I'm trying to do repetition and consistency so I can learn my poems again. Don't let nobody tell you different. Drinking, drinking, and cigars. It causes memory issues. So does bipolar. So does trauma. PTSD. I've had all this in my life, and so now I got to focus. And once I focus, and when I say focus, do more what is essential to me instead of going with people and partying. I will be 50 this year, and if I focus more on me and love me more, and I finally looked at the woman in the mirror and I love me unconditionally, my good, my right, my wrong, my shortcomings. I love me if nobody else loves me. I love me, and I mean really love me. And when you love yourself, you try to pour more into your body that's good, and flush that the negative things out. Like I said, I'm gonna go do some more of my puzzles today, and that's what I had started doing when I stopped smoking them Newports. And you know, my children was so proud of me. Don't let nobody tell you different. Someone is always watching you, and you can encourage them or you can disencourage them. So we got to really watch. Now, I'm not saying put on a facade, because anybody come across my content, they know I keep it 100. I was daily inspiration, but I said I don't want to say daily inspiration because sometimes I just keep it real, cut and dry on here. And for those who may have just came in, I'm Factz from Atlanta, Georgia. Happy 4th of July. It's my little sis' birthday, so, you know, that's a blessing. And I just got to plug this in there. My mom had 2 sets of twins, and then she had my little sister on the 4th of July, and then her birthday is one day after mine. My birthday is September 22nd, and then hers is September 23rd. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Don't let nobody tell you wrong. For the believers, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to say this poem because I just realized that it's something else I have to do, because I always try to put God first. I listened to a little prayer before I got on here. However, I like to give God my first. And I'm not a part of a church. I have been. My mom is a minister. I just have a real relationship with God. God is my best friend. Like, I don't have no friend. God is my friend. My grandmother is gone, and that was my friend. That was like my everything. But so you know, with that, how I deal with it is I live for all of my family that's gone. And it's by trying to be the best that you can be. You know what I'm saying? They can be proud of you. So let me go to this poem right quick. This is called Where I Reside. Be patient with me. I don't have glasses, and I do have to read this because I haven't remembered it yet. Where I reside. All this is allegedly. Where I reside, there's money for war, little room for inmates. Officers escape conviction. Parents are in suspension. Men are in lack. You best watch your back and don't let them start with morals. You might find yourself under attack. Where I reside, people sell their body and soul for crack or stacks. The health system push pills and surgery. Will we ever heal for real? Where I reside, everyone claims to be a Christian or some type of religion. These same religious people take you for a ride. No guilt, no shame. People just going insane. I ask you, is our living in vain? Where I reside, the government is a pimp. Human beings go missing. Food have become hazardous and or minimum. CDC, CPS is a mess. Situations that should shock the nation. Where are the children? Gone, unlike inflation. Okay, that's part one. This part two that I'm still working on. Thank you for listening, by the way. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the votes. Coming where I'm from, ladies are taken for granted, unappreciated, undervalued, and manipulated. Likewise, men value is conditional, earned through his ability to provide, achieve, and secure resources, e.g., income, status. Men must constantly prove their worth. Then, if he couldn't or can't, she tells him it won't work. Where I reside, pay is not enough to support your family. Insufficient compensation. Unemployed, disenraged. They call us lazy and enraged. Well, girls just want to have fun until our life is done. Are we done in by the system? The devil is a lie. God is willing. Jesus willing and able. He has and will turn these tables. Where I reside, we recognize the tides, the regular alternating rise and fall, the gravitational pull. Celebrities are individuals. A-list. I will not speak on your name. Famous or not, you get a spot or dismissed. Reject God, neglect, disrespect, refuse, repent, wicked, duplicate, reciprocate, initiate. Where I reside, they conceal, camouflage, and withhold. Rise up, America. You've been sold. Where I reside. Poem. For the two that are still here, if you like my poems, put a 1 in the chat. If you think I need to work on it, please put a 2 in the chat. I would love your feedback. It helped me to continue to do what I do and encourage me. And it let me know, what I could work on. So right now I come on here and I really don't, like I said, I don't have a niche. I like different things. And I'm relearning myself because at 50, I'm not the same I was in my 40s, in my 30s, or in my 20s. I became a mother going on 21 when I found out I had my first child. And I became a woman. And, I already knew what to do with kids because I helped my brothers. We are 12 years apart, my twin brothers. And then my little sister, we're 6, the one whose birthday it is today. We're 6 years apart, and my twin, she taught me how to be a mom because she stamped in the gap, you know what I'm saying? So, but having your own children is a whole nother vibe, and protecting them and trying to get that balance and loving them and working because I am a single mother of 3. So it could be challenging. But one thing I could tell you, I've never been a perfect mom, but I've always been a mom with love. My sons will be here to spend time with me today because whatever love I have, I stretch it. I try to make it happen as much as I can because where your heart is, there your treasure will be also. And my heart is with my children. I love all of my family, don't get me wrong, but for the ones I pushed out that didn't ask to be here, it's a different kind of love. And then because I know I chose the wrong person to be their father, it's like I know I owe them more than that. They deserve better than that. Okay, so I'm gonna put those up. I'm gonna try this week to work on another poem. I gotta find time. I must find time. This morning has been such a pretty good live. I was gonna go for a walk to the store, but you all just don't know. Me talking to you is therapy for me. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me? I know people going in and out. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Happy 4th of July. I would not say Independence Day because I celebrate Juneteenth, but like I said, it is my little sister's birthday, so I'll say happy 4th of July for those who celebrate that. I am going to cook a dinner with my family, but like do the normal like barbecuing, I'm not doing. My sons are coming over here. They got them some little fireworks or whatever. I try not to push my life on my children because I realize that they're living in 2026, you know, and I was more like in the 90s type. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s and 90s. I had my first child in 98. You know what I'm saying? So even with the sports, I'm not really into none of that because I'm being in this world, not of this world, because I really see what this world is. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible been said that, but as a young person, I never paid that no attention. But I'm definitely trying to be in this world, but not of this world. And how I show up matters. Okay, so I'm going to do this right quick. I did this on yesterday. I'm trying to pick a song. Sometimes my internet take a minute to come in. My internet be going in and out on my extra device. Oh, and I'm sorry. There's one more thing. While I'm waiting for that to pick up, there's one more thing that I need to say. I had been working on passive aggressive, passive, and assertive. I'm trying with all my might to be assertive. So now I tell people how I feel, you know, and I think before I speak, and I ask God to guide me so I can say the right words to people, because I would not want to disrespect anyone or dismiss anyone. However, I want them to know that I love me, and my journey, my faith journey, my self-love journey is very important to me. So, you know, I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and then if you don't comply or take accountability, then I'm just gonna take a step back on how I move with you. And it's just simple as that. That's who I am. One thing I can always say, I'm really usually a real person, but what I do is I have sugar coated and stepped back because I don't want folks to know how I feel. But I will say, if a person asking me how I feel, like someone asked me, you know, where our relationship was or what was going on, and I told them they did something shady to me. And when you do something shady to me, I love you, but we can never. It's like, say your friend or your family mess with your man. Like, we can't come back from that. Like, we can be cool. You know what I'm saying? And we can be cool if you my family. If you my friend, we'll be cordial. But that's why I don't have no friends, because like people just not. I'm not gonna even say trustworthy. I don't believe in many people because I trust nobody but God, and that's probably really bad. But I trust God. Like, I don't trust nobody, and that's just been my life, and that's what it is. That's how it is. But let me see, can I find this assertive, because I never did come back to that, and I meant to come back to that, because that's the biggest piece to the puzzle, part of the pie. If that is that I want to learn to be assertive. I have so much content on here. Only what you make it. When you're feeling down, you should never fake it. Say what's on your mind, and you'll find inside that all the negative energy, it belongs to you. with yourself. You won't really need no one else except for the man above. Okay, first I'm gonna go over passive aggressive again, then I'm gonna go to assertive. Passive aggressive behavior is a pattern of expressing negative feelings such as anger or resentment indirectly rather than addressing them openly. Passive aggressive is a pattern of expressing negative feelings such as anger or resentment indirectly rather than addressing them openly. Instead of having a direct conversation, a person uses subtle digs, procrastination, or negative, I'm sorry, deliberate neglect to make their displeasure known while avoiding direct conflict. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of this and I'm gonna get off of here because my neighbors are cooking and playing music and I'm distracted and it's like taking away my peace. So let me go ahead and do this. Assertive, where you want to be, where I want to be. Being assertive means confidently and clearly expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs while still respecting the rights and opinions of others. I'm going to say that again. Being assertive means confidently and clearly expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs while still respecting the rights and opinions of others. Assertive. I thank you again, whomever you are that stayed here the longest. I appreciate it. Time is something you can get back with God because He will restore the years the locusts took. However, time, in my opinion, is more than money. I'm right a little bit of this real quick. If my tablet my device do not get this song, I'm gonna sing a little bit of it anyway because it's a song of my spirit, and then I'm gonna get off of here. I knew this number was gonna fall 1341 because that's my grandmother's address, and it's also her birthday, and she just been on my mind and been in my spirit because I just realized just how much I'm missing her. But I would never want her to suffer. And what's going on in this world right now, I would want her to close her eyes to this. So, I'm say a little bit about these two songs I like. I woke up this morning feeling kind of down. I called on my best friend. She could not be found. But I called on Jesus. My life He can hold. I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. See, my voice is really gone. But when it comes to praising God and just thinking about my grandmother and the goodness, I mean, that song and Satan. And I said this on yesterday. For some reason, this device that I'm on, it want to go in and out. I say that's that little thing that don't want me to enjoy this time on here, but I always enjoy connecting with people. I don't even have to see you and I connect with you. We already know that little thing. He prowled around like a lion, seeking whom he can devour. He will not devour me though. He not gonna steal my joy. Okay, it's silver and gold that I like, and it's this other one I like. You are my friend. I never knew until then. My friend, I feel your love when you're not near. And I know my voice gone. My grandmother just on my heart and in my mind and my spirit, and that's just my song, because that was my friend. She still is my friend. I feel in my spirit. She give me strength and inspiration every day to keep on going, because she always told me, you are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are smart. My grandmother made sure she validated me at home. She gave me hugs. I didn't get that from everybody. And I know some people have different ways they give money. You know what I'm saying? I love hard when I love. Some people I have to step back from, but I know my grandmother really loved me unconditionally. You know, everybody want to be loved. Everybody want a sense of accomplishment, in my opinion. So I'm just going to kind of talk these words, because it's just real on my heart. Today my little sister's birthday, and I just been thinking about my family all day today. Some people I can't be close to because it's for my mental health. You know, I can't let nobody shadow my spirit. I gotta guard my heart nowadays. You know. But you are my friend. I never knew until then. My friend, I feel your love when you're not near. I've been looking around and you were here all the time. She did it with that song. I don't have that voice, but she did it with that song. Now, it's this other one that I want to sing. It's just like a little karaoke before I get off of here. Unfortunately, I no longer have my microphone. I was using a friend's, and he took it somewhere, and he didn't bring it back. But let me say this. If you don't use your gifts, you can lose your gifts. So whether it be staying in shape, not smoking to keep your voice good, singing daily, write your poetry, write your rhymes, so whatever it is, whatever gift you have, as my friends say, keep your foot on your gift neck, because if you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay, it looked like my internet trying to work. Let me see, can I find this song right quick before I get out of here. Soon as I was about to type it in, it just came up. Happy 4th of July, everyone that celebrate. Don't forget to pray and be safe out here, whether you're doing fireworks or staying home, grilling, whatever you're doing. And look to your kids. I'm always saying this on my platform. Look to your kids. Watch your kids. We're not living in the times we used to, where the neighbors was like friends and family with us. Now you say something to your neighbors, you're getting cursed out and everything. But like they said, if you see something, say something. You can say it anonymously. Like, I realized I wasn't driving, but I saw this child on a little I think they call it hoverboard or whatever, and it was at nighttime. I was headed home, coming from a friend's house, and we passed by, and I asked my, what that child doing outside at night? At night? I was like, wow. you know, but we got to start saying something nowadays, like, because I would have felt bad if I saw anything on news about something happened to a child on Bankhead, because I would have held myself accountable. And if it was my car, I would have back up once I realized what we passed, but I was not driving. But we got to start holding ourselves accountable as citizens. Some people say that ain't none of my business. I'm not saying go say that to nobody's child every time you see somebody's child. But if you see a child on a hoverboard at 10 o'clock at night, yes, it's best to see what's going on, or to look and see if the parent around you. Your parent around, point your parent to me so I know your parent with you. That type of stuff. Because if it was my child, I just told somebody the other day, you can be 21. I need to know where you at. Too much going on in this world not to.
Here's something most people don't want to hear. No one is going to build
okay, that's ad. I gotta turn the ad down. I'm seeing this in. I'm get off here. I might get me some coffee this morning. I don't know. I gotta throw my turkey necks on. Okay. I do not own the rights to this content. This for entertainment and educational purposes only. Okay, it's something about as soon as I set it down, it started buffering. I couldn't seem to fall asleep. There was so much on my mind, searching for that peace, for the peace I did not find. So I delved down and prayed. I prayed, help me please. He said, you don't have to cry, 'cause I'll supply your needs. I really love that song, and my voice is gone. And my device, it was about to play it, then it went off. But this, in case you don't know, this Let Go by Dwayne Woods. There's so much going on. Sometimes I can't find my way. Oftentimes I struggle. I struggle from day to day. And I have to realize it's not my battle. It's not my battle to fight. If I put it in his hands, then everything will be all right. As soon as I start worrying how the story ends, I let go and let God have his way. I couldn't seem to fall asleep. There was so much on my mind, searching for that peace, for the peace I could not find. So then I kneeled down to pray. I prayed, God, help me, please. He said, you don't have to cry, because I'll supply all your needs. Let go. Let God. Let go. Let God. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Thank you all for all that pulled up on me. I appreciate you. May you have a safe, enjoyable, and essential 4th of July. May God help you on your journey and bless you with prosperity in all areas of your life. This my time. I'm Factz. Check out my content. Share it with a friend. I have no niche. God is the map. One love. If nobody didn't tell you, you are intelligent. You are stunning. You are needed. Salute. I'm out.